The more information you have, the better the decisions. Data is crucial to do important decisions in Dota games and even before the Dota game in preparation. It's really cool that a big company like SAP is investing into esports and that I can be a part of it is amazing.
We just started our bracket play here at the CQ Major, and the first game that we see, a little bit of a stomp to start things off. And I want to ask you guys on the panel, where did it go wrong? Obviously, we were pretty critical on the panel of some of the picks that did come in. Does it come down to that? Did they lose in draft?
Probably a lot of it. That's where their early game just fell apart. We were being critical of the support Magnus in general in terms of early game laning siege. Some teams, like Liquid, got away with it earlier on in the tournament, but
when they had a stronger hero.
Yeah, when you can take advantage of Magnus, a Magnus-Chen support duo, you're going to lose the game in the first 10 minutes, and that's kind of what happened.
I mean, Magnus-Chen is just so weak. Like, we spoke about it. You have a position 4 that can't make any plays around the map, and a position 5 that can't make any plays around the map. You lose the laning stage, you can't recover pretty much, and this is what happened. They lost, I think, 3 lanes.
And it's not just the supports losing your side lanes, it's the mid 1v1 matchup where Nisha, mid-morphling specialist, perhaps the best mid-morphling out there, crushed Matu as well.
Yeah, that was completely one-sided.
Yeah, you said something when we were actually watching along the lines of they don't have any catch. If they fall behind at any point, they're not going to be able to catch up. There's no recovery if they fall behind. That's it.
Yeah, because they have no playmakers. Like, they were just completely relying on the lanes. Underlord is completely for lane. Partner is completely for lane. And then you have this tri-lane with, like, Magnus, Chen, which is also completely focused on the lane. And obviously, the Dire tri-lane is way stronger.
Yeah.
A big talking point when we saw this was whether or not they're just trying to work with Shadow. Are they trying to make sure that they fully utilize Shadow now that he's on the team, make sure that communications aren't going to be an issue? Did we see even a glimmer of that in this lineup?
We saw too much of it, perhaps. Like, where that's like, they were just like, all right, we're going to get all these heroes to make Shadow strong, but they, couldn't do anything outside of buff him up.
As someone who's overcompensated through most of his life, I feel like I can maybe call it when I see it. I feel like they're overcompensating for Shadow right now, and they're maybe going a little bit too far trying to play around him. Would you guys like to see them maybe switch up their strategy on how they plan on utilizing the stand-in player?
I mean, the problem in this game is definitely, like, not even Shadow. It's like, how they play around him. It's just they had absolutely no chance from the early game already. And I think just go back to what he drafted yesterday. Like, just try to win 2 lanes, win 1 lane for sure. Go even in 1 lane if you have to. But if you lose 3 lanes and you have absolutely no playmakers, you can't really play. And
Underlord with Magnus has felt very, very underwhelming. You've got a 3 and a 4 position that...
Centaur, man. You empower Centaur. I'm telling you.
It's not even about empowering him. It's just about having a playmaker. He can do well in lane. Yeah, he's not maybe the best team fighter like an Underlord is with all the auras, but he still can get the Crimson Guard. He's got Stampede, and he gives you a way just to go around making small little plays throughout the game.
We've pretty much run down the list of heroes on Team Liquid, and we had something to say about each one in this configuration. Let's talk about Secret, because I remember the one thing that I kind of heard you guys hint at, and then we jumped right into the game, so we didn't get to talk about it too much, was there was potentially some greedy picks coming out, Black. Did you feel like this was a greedy composition to create?
Like, in hindsight, the last pick Morphling made a lot of sense, because 1v1 versus the partner is actually quite easy. Partner can't really pressure him too much, and then of course as soon as you have the morph ability, you can turn into the partner and actually put a lot of pressure on the enemy tower instead. So in hindsight, the pick is super good. It wasn't really greedy at all. It just at the time it looked a bit greedy, but
okay. Yeah, you can. Anytime they get this Morphling plus 1 other carry draft, it works because Morphling can win the mid lane. If you win the mid lane as Morphling, it doesn't matter if your draft's greedy, because Morphling can actually be a playmaker. You get your treads, wraith bands, you pressure the tower, you move around the map, you can do so much.
Okay, so we definitely like that. One other thing that I heard Black saying, and I definitely heard Black say a lot at all times of the day, not just during that game, but you did say you feel like troll players a little unsure what to do at times.
Yeah, it feels like we have seen it also in the minor. The troll just they hit, they turn low HP, and they don't use BKB, they don't use cheese, they use nothing, they just press ult. And then, okay, I can't die for 5 seconds now, but then they get disabled and they just die because they didn't use BKB, because they didn't use cheese. They just, like, it kind of feels like sometimes like a panic button, Oh, I'm getting low health, ult. And then you just run into the enemy because you can't control your hero anymore. You obviously, like, lose complete control over your hero. You just attack one guy, and if he runs away in the base, you will just chase him. And that's what happens a lot of times. And
Secret plays pretty well in that one, though. Is that one of the only criticisms that you really do have for them?
it's like super small. Yeah,
They
I
were
mean,
up 20k gold. It's
yeah.
fine. This guy here, the MVP Nisha, he,
Yeah.
you know, he carried that game. You know, he's
Yeah,
like mid
Nisha
one,
owned.
go push your ulti and do some stuff. It's fine. I've got this.
of course, in this game, it doesn't matter. But I'm saying if it's like a closer game, it can matter.
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, we're grasping at straws here to critique Secret at all, and that means it is going to completely be on Liquid when we do get into the next game. Otherwise, we're going to just start off with a cheeky little 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Liquid has a lot to work on, especially in their draft. I think you can't really criticize their play too much because they didn't really have any plays after the early game. They kind of just like have to run around as 5. That's their lineup. And if you're too weak as 5, then you can't play the game properly. So it's just a draft for me.
Yeah, so draft, and then we get into the early game, kind of snowballs. So what do you want to see in the draft? We've already kind of talked about maybe they are going a little too far with trying to make sure that they don't have to worry about communication issues. Do you think they just pay no attention to it, or do you think they go somewhere halfway between paying no heed to it and what they're doing now?
Probably a bit more halfway, where like you allow Shadow to play his game, where he's kind of on his own a bit, being, you know, with the Mag, like the Mag PA is fine as an opening 2 heroes. It's once you get the Chen and the Underlord. I think those are more the 2 heroes that we felt sent their draft down a direction that they didn't have any catch, didn't have any playmaking capabilities, had very weak lanes, and that's where they kind of got caught out.
I feel like Magpie is in some ways kind of like a Dusa. You just put that lane there, okay, just be happy, farm some creeps, whatever. But the other 2 lanes, they need to do well, because otherwise you have no plays around the map. It's very important.
If they change I'm just curious, just with the reaction of the Chen getting locked in. I think that was one of the most like visceral, almost disgusted reactions I've seen from Black throughout the weekend. Definitely, you weren't too stoked to see that hero. Do you think if they maybe changed the draft at all, that the Chen could have been playable?
I mean, as I said, at the minor, I think it was picked quite a lot. Very surprisingly, it did very poorly in every game. eHome won 1 game with it. That's the only game it won at the tournament, I think. And even there, he went like something like 1-7 or something. So it felt like he had very low impact. And I just don't see the strength of the hero right now. Like, you have a good teamfight ultimate that heals your team, but other than that, what do you have? Like, compared to like a position 5 Grimstroke, for example, he does so much more.
Well, I guess that Grimstroke's getting banned out now, which is where Kuro's being sent down a different route for his hero pool.
Yeah, but it was just an example. Like, there's so many like different position 5 heroes.
Yeah, and as we are analyzing, I do want to give a major shout out to our main analytics partner throughout the entirety of the event. Major thanks to SAP for backing up our entire desk as we try to figure out now what we are going to see when we jump into this next draft. It's going to be coming up in just a few short seconds here. We've already started to allude to some of the strategies that we think may need to be tweaked. They're all really on the side of Liquid right now, and this is one of the first times on this stream that we have gotten to see Secret. Are they performing as you expected they would be?
Yeah, absolutely. And they got through second in that group, getting 2-0 kind of convincing by LGD, but that's, you know, that's LGD. This is Liquid. This is a TI champion winning team as well, but with a stand-in, and Secret have shown, I think, more the form that people expected from them, the form we saw at the last major.
Black, I've listened to absolutely every single thing that you have said since we have arrived.
And I'm always right.
I haven't found a single time that you're wrong yet. I really haven't.
I've taken the opposite approach. I listen to 0 of what he says normally.
That's
so,
that's
yeah,
what the Kyle approach. Just apply it to mine too. But one of the, you know, one of the big things that you did say was there's going to be a point. There's going to be a point where Liquid gets tested. They're tested by a team that is of the highest caliber. Is that what we're seeing right now with Secret? Is that why it seems like they may fall here in a 2-0?
I mean, you have a stand-in, you have to make adjustments. If the adjustments don't work, then you should kind of just go back to how you would play with Miracle, I think. What would be maybe the better approach is for the team itself.
So you don't even think go halfway. You just think pretend Shadow's Miracle.
I mean, going halfway is like...
You can't pretend he's Miracle and pick Invoker and
yeah,
stuff.
No, of course.
But you gotta
I mean, just like yesterday, you
back
pick him that TB, you know, you like they do with Miracle. They pick him the first 2 TB, they just play around it like they would with Miracle. Obviously, he doesn't play like Miracle. It's very different in play
How's
style.
that any different to first you picking him a PA and playing around the PA like we saw?
I mean,
Did they not do? I mean, they didn't really. They kind of did that game. That was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
game
He's always
plan.
right.
I
Slow down.
suppose so, but I've never seen them
You're
draft like
supposed
this.
to. That feels like you admitting you're wrong, Black.
God, be careful, man.
But they didn't draft the other heroes like that
Here,
ever.
here comes the denial phase, the buts. Okay,
You-
got it, Black.
You see?
I understand.
You see, it's so hard to argue with him because he's just like, eh.
Yeah, that's what God sounds like right now. That's
Yeah.
not what you sound like at all. Now we're going to
Exactly.
start seeing some of the picks coming on through. Is anything catching your eye now? We're going to see two heroes here. Sven, once again, going to make it first phase Sven.
Sven Rasta, the shaman. We haven't seen that hero really prioritized at all this tournament.
Naya, Daya, position 4, most likely. I mean, they played it as core before, as mid. But more importantly, Liquid, Elder Titan means strong lane, means much better than last game already.
I think they've decided they just, for me, Secret want to be just first staging Yapsor's hero. Because last game was first 2 Rubik, this time Rubik's ban. They're like, okay, what's your hero when Rubik's ban? Shaman. So they're just going to first 2 pick it because you're not worried about Yapsor's hero getting countered.
Oracle, a super early Oracle.
We saw some first phase oracles yesterday as well. What do you think about getting this oracle in nice and early for Liquid?
I think it makes sense against Sven. You can purge with the Warcry, right?
Yeah, you can purge it off.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
you can, yeah. So it
purgeable.
makes a lot of sense against Sven. Because Sven position 5, he pretty much is only the Warcry. He doesn't do much more. Like he throws out the stun and then you're nothing. So purging of the Warcry actually essentially makes the hero like half as strong. So it's a good pick.
And I think secondarily, it's been Kuro's hero that he goes to when Grimstroke has been taken away. And last game, you know, he didn't get Grim, and then Oracle was banned. So it was like, okay, no Grim, no Oracle, Chen. So this time around, I think there's like, let's just get Kuro's hero before it gets banned out.
So the Chen pick was maybe kind of scraping at the dregs of the barrel. This time, we're going to see Liquid not needing to do that. So maybe that is why we do see that early Oracle pick. What do we think, though? We already started to talk about it, but I want to hear just a little bit more about what you do think, Gods, with this Sven coming out on Secret with the Shaman.
It's giving them, I think, just revealing as little as possible, like picking almost certainly your 5 position Sven. We saw it last game. There's a very small chance it gets put into a core role, but it doesn't really tell too much. It's well-rounded. You've got plenty of lockdown and catch, something that Liquid lacked last game, and Black commented, you know, Secret already have, 3 reliable stuns or something, and Secret seem to just want to keep going to that formula. Pick reliable lockdown out of your supports, and then get cores later on in the draft that match up well against what Liquid are doing.
I mean, Dota is just so much easier to play when you actually have reliable lockdowns. Like, you don't need to actually just outplay the opponent. You can just stun them and then kill them rather than having to like use every spell that you have perfectly. So definitely the safer route.
So we see that with Secret. They're going to have a lot of that lockdown. They have that stun. They're going to have catch at their disposal. Does Liquid have any of that to work with?
They have more counter initiation now. They have like this ET Storm to counter initiate. They have Oracle to counter initiate. But both heroes also have offensive capabilities, of course, but not like ultra reliable. It's not that they can just blink in and hack someone.
It's way better than what we last game.
Oh, yeah.
Magnus Chen or Oracle ET. This is, to me, a perfectly suitable support hero.
I mean, we spoke about turnaround potential. Oracle and Titan are like 2 of the best heroes in Dota that can turn around fights.
And Secret, if they're going to try, like, you've got the shackles and just going to run in with the Sven Warcry, that's kind of a good tool to have on your side.
We're seeing a very different Liquid already, even though this draft is still very much in its earlier parts. Looking at Secret, though, right now, we're about to find out who they've locked in.
OD, this is super early
Very,
OD.
very early.
Without seeing much.
Ooh, okay. It's not bad by any means, but it does obviously expose your OD to get kind of counterpicked.
There's Pugna, if you want to do that.
The Pugna, the Sniper, there's a few different options you can go to.
So we basically were saying here that at first, in the first phase, Secret doesn't really reveal anything. Now with this early OD, are they trying to take advantage of the fact that they hadn't revealed much yet and just throw the OD in?
Yeah. I mean, they're playing as second pick, so they're going to have to reveal one of their cores before Liquid anyways, between their carry and their mid. So I think that's kind of like, well, we know we want this OD. Let's just pick it up here and see where the draft goes.
If you pick OD, it denies that these Tide Hunters and Unlord, these Aura heroes, but Beastmaster is so good against OD. Like, Just picking OD like that to deny aura heroes possibly seems a bit weird when the best aura hero is actually just right at the disposal.
Why do you think Beastmaster is so good against OD?
I mean, it's just like the auras he provides. If you ever raw him, he actually just dies.
Sure.
Right now, they have no counterplay at all against offense. So if he ever gets rawed, they jump on him, he will just blow up.
Team Liquid's turn to pick Tide.
So they pick Titan on themselves. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess that's why they didn't pick Tide before the OD, because if they went Tide, there's a chance Liquid take the OD as like a way of dealing with it.
And then they just want to last pick their carry hero. I mean,
Well, OD can also
work.
be flexible. I think that's what they showed last game. Is you can pick this troll or morphling and mix up the lanes a bit, so they could do an OD in a side lane if they have a bad mid matchup.
yeah, you can. It's just a bit awkward because OD just wants a high level quickly, but it's possible.
5
They may also
seconds
just feel
remaining.
like the OD matchups mid, there aren't any that are completely unplayable. Although I think it was Mid1 himself who had to play OD versus Pugna at the last major and just lost his lane terribly. And after the game, it was like, what happened in that game? He's like, oh, OD versus Pugna. It's just like, can't win.
It is playable. It's like 7-3 for partner. It's not great, and you're gonna lose your tower, and like, it's just not overall. It's just not good, but it can work. Like if you ever get your BKB, you can actually just jump on him as well. So it's a matchup that's not fun to play, but it's definitely playable later on in the game.
Now, what's Team Liquid looking for at this point in the draft?
I would like a partner. They need some like a hard carry. I would have loved TB, but obviously TB is banned.
All the hard carries are
And most of them are banned out already.
Well, so they want to play mid. They've got Beastmaster. He's the guy that can enable a lot of other carries to be even stronger.
I would say Slark is good too, but his OD can pose a problem.
OD's one of the worst heroes, I feel like, for Slark to play.
Yeah,
into.
it is, yeah.
Team Secrets turn to battle.
Monkey.
Yeah.
That
I was thinking-
makes sense against the Tide as well.
Yeah, I thought that was something that Secret might even go for. But yeah, Matu, of course, has been beastly on this hero, can play against the Tide. Even mid versus the OD seems okay, because like the first 2 to 3 levels, OD doesn't actually bully or threaten you that much.
But when VG played it against Liquid's Monkey, he actually had like half the CS of the OD. The lane is not super good, but of course Monkey has roaming potential, whereas OD is more just like a static laner. But if they do,
it's like if you put
Wanna put
Matu safe lane, then Shadow's going mid, I guess.
yeah, that sounds rough, because he got completely outplayed in the times he went middle. So
Liquid's turn
I would rather
to
stick with
battle.
having Matu mid. I mean, Shadow can probably play Monkey too if they want to put it.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. He's known to be a carry player.
But
so.
I think you just put Matu mid, Shadow safe lane, and that's the best bet.
Maybe gonna get to see Matu on the Monkey King for the 3rd time now on stream. Definitely looked pretty insane the first 2 times that we did see it yesterday.
10 seconds remaining.
Rounding out the draft though here. Is there anything that is missing in either of these lineups that you want to see come in at the end?
Dire right now, they have... I mean, their mid-late game damage potential is really high, but for early game, they kind of lack it. They don't really have many damage sources, so something like a partner would be good. Juggernaut. So it is the Matu Monkey mid.
Yep.
Safe lane Jug.
Just comfort for Matu. Something he's always played a lot of. I've seen him play pubs mid monkey all the time, so I think he feels like he can play this matchup. It may not be favored to him, maybe like 60-40 OD, perhaps.
But he can definitely make rotations happen.
Yeah.
Which he did yesterday as well, very successfully
10
so.
seconds remaining.
So
And we'll see
Secret.
what Secret get. All the carries we've seen, like that second ban stage was all 4 big ones banned out, and now Troll banned out. So
I think I like Slark for Secret.
against Jug, yeah, that could
Against
work.
Jug, against Beast, against Titan. He's pretty good against all of the heroes. And there's not much left anyway, so.
Or
Faceless
Void.
Void.
We've seen Void in some of the other groups. This hero's had quite a bit of success with Fnatic. Pengo had a game with the Void as well. They've got Void with OD, so at least some kind of synergy between the Chronosphere.
I can never criticize Void. I just think he's a super stable laner. He used even to be in off lane, so you can't really bully him out of lane. Super strong teamfight ultimate. He doesn't have to be the main source of damage this game, so very solid pick. I like Void.
Last
course they
game,
would.
the consensus kind of was on this desk that Liquid lost in the draft straight up. We talked about that Chen. We talked about all the issues that it had. This time, is that the case, or does it seem like they have the tools to potentially bring this all the way to a game 3?
I think they got the tools. I mean, you can see it there. They were sitting there smiling, laughing. Kuro was, pointing, giving some directions to Shadow. Their draft as a whole looks way more well-rounded. They've got the disables. They've got, I think, they're not going to get run over in the lanes at least.
He's like, level 6, we TP here, we take tower.
Yeah, and
He's like,
he was
yeah.
talking very animatedly at Shadow, and mind control there. It was like they were both just like around his computer, like, this is what's going to happen, dude. We got this.
Get it out of the way before you're actually in the game, right? Well, Secret, we very quickly said that they had a lot to work with in their draft as well, but we're about to put these guys to the test. It could end in a 2-0. The question is, are we going to see Liquid extend all the way to a Game 3?
Thanks so much, Rich. And man, oh man, Fogged, we are here. It is game number 2.
Yep.
A bit of a bad one last time. It looked pretty rough. It hurt. Hurt to watch, hurt to see it, hurt to play, I'm sure. But this time, a very different game. How do you feel about the 2 drafts?
This time, Liquid has a lot more things they can do. They can actually make plays on the map. Like last game, it was really like all on Matu to really make all the plays and Kuro to kind of solidify early game. Now they've got stronger lanes, they've got kill potential, they've got heroes that can move and make plays on their own. So should be a better setup for Liquid, at least in this one.
All good stuff. Let's head into the game right now. And already off across the map, Zai looks like he's going to head back the other direction. Faces Void, a little bit of a hero that we haven't seen that much. The panel was talking about it, that it was in the other groups, but at least for the mainstream, we haven't gotten to see too much. But often you run into an issue of not having a lot of damage to throw into the Chronosphere. This time you've got like wards on the outside of it. You've got Arcane Orb if OD is able to get there and the person inside isn't BKB'd or whatever.
It's not amazing, but it's decent. If the OD is there, if he's in good position and he can throw good sanities, sanities is an insane amount of damage. And it's their only BKB piercing disable that they've got on the side of Secret. So if after the Jug was picked, they didn't have a way to stop a spin TP or anything. Now they've got Chrono, they've got bashes. The one thing I'd say about Secret's draft is they're pretty long cooldowns. I think this is 3 of the longest ones in the game, or 3 of the longer ones in the game on their ultis. 150 on Ravage, Chronosphere is also sitting at like 140, and then OD is one of the highest on that 160. So very, very long cooldown ultis for them. Well, Liquid, they've got much faster pace game. They've got quick ulti cooldowns, and they've got a Hawk. So the biggest thing about Beastmaster is you can play around those long cooldown stuff, and you can make moves much easier in comparison, especially to that last game.
Yeah, it does sort of need to be obviously really good communication when you're trying to play around those ultis. And we saw there right before the game got started, Kuro was trying to do some like sign language stuff with Shadows, like crossing his arms and all these weird things.
Yeah.
But could be something to keep our eyes on if maybe somebody happens to be out of position. But so far, Shadow's been able to definitely keep up with everything that Liquid's needed to up until this point. And it looks like it's going to be Puppey and Zai hanging out together in this bottom lane against the tri-lane.
This looks like both teams want to make sure that their off lanes get something, it seems. Because Beastmaster in the off lane versus the Shadow Shaman Sven, he'll have a lot of trouble. Tidehunter versus a Juggernaut tri-lane, he'll die. Because that's what Jug provides you when you see a Tidehunter picked, is you spin and you can get a kill in the lane pretty easily versus that hero.
We did see some cool stuff last time when it was obviously against the Centaur, a very different hero, where he was going like multiple bracers, some ways to try and stay alive in that fashion. But meanwhile, mid lane, that Matumba man versus mid 1 matchup of Monkey King versus OD. It is nice that you can go for the mischief to try and stay alive, but there it is. You talk about it. You be able to spin immediately onto Zai, but Shadow can't make anything else happen from it. But level 1 Warcry.
Yeah, Puppey was there. It's just a little bit, even just some increased movement speed to push away and just blocks a couple hits of the Elder Titan. Like ET doesn't favor playing versus Sven. These Sven supports too much, and neither versus the. I'm sorry, I confused myself. Sorry. ET doesn't like playing too much versus the Sven. The Warcry is amazing versus the blocks, and the one thing they can do though is have Kuro there to dispel.
Right.
Of course, with that Oracle versus the Sven.
I mean, it's a little bit tough because you also sort of want it to help set up for kills, so you kind of got to play a chicken and the egg scenario where you need to find the kill without having to use the Fortune's End or be able to get the kill after the Warcry comes out.
Yeah.
Regardless, Shadow going to try and go toe-to-toe here with Zai, but Tidehunter loves playing against these melee heroes, and Shadow, a big creep wave pushing under there. This GH is going to try and push back. Yep, sorry, he's getting fairly low. Needs to be careful. The jump forward for Nisha. Can he buy a bash? Doesn't happen.
That would have been a very fortunate bash, yes. I've mostly been looking a lot at this mid lane because we saw this matchup yesterday between Matumba and I can't remember exactly who was actually playing the OD, but he did not do that great, as expected. OD does have a pretty advantageous lane, especially when you hit level 4 versus a Monkey King, but Matu did a great job of roaming, and I think that's probably what we're going to see happen again once the OD builds up some levels.
Kuro again, just trying to deal with Zai here, but not easy at all. As underneath the tower, the Beastmaster caught mind control. A rare flub from him, and he will get punished.
Wow, he took, what, 3 or 4 tower hits? That was painful. Avoid, well, Yapzor again getting first blood, so we're going to see, what, we got Arcane Boots at the 3 or 4 minute mark on the Rubik last game. Same thing's going to happen here in the Shadow Shaman for Yappy.
And so far, so good over here in the bottom lane, too. It hasn't really been a great kill potential. Maybe here with level 3, although Zai chased forward. Puppey moves into position. They might be able to find something afterwards, but they get the kill. Big play there to finish it off by Kuro.
And the Tide was just starting to catch up, too, in the last hits, up to 13. Giving themselves a very nice kill. Now we've got dual lane. These dual lanes kind of set back up now.
Well, we are going to have Bounce Strike there just to get the CS. Bottom lane, Puppey, Zai, they move back in onto Shadow. Going to try and get the slowdown with the root used, and Shadow will be able to back away.
Okay, cool. Went for the 1-1-1 build on Zai so he can put pressure with the Gush.
Yeah, I like it. Should mention that
valuable level 1 ability, like 90 mana, 110, total minus armor. It's a very good level 1 spell.
still does run into some issues, obviously, because you have a lot of magical damage in this lane. The 2 points in Purifying Flames is just so effective early on. As looks like they're thinking about going again, but Shadow needs to be careful. All the right clicks, moving into position, and they will have to back out again after the Healing Ward pops.
You see, Kuro is using some spells here to try to burn these Ranger up that Zai does have picked up.
Another thing to keep in mind is up in the top lane, they did not block out that hard camp. So GH has pretty much consistently been stacking it out and getting a lot of damage in from it. Needs to be careful. Is Zai going to get dove in this bottom lane, and they will find the kill.
Very nice. That's like literally what we're talking about, right? The power of the Jug versus the Titan. You can set up for those kills constantly. And Oracle also provides a lot of magic.
Oh, Dumbaman moves into position. Stormbolt goes out there. Throws out the Boundless Strike. Going to try and chase here. Warcry to run, and with that, Matumba Man is going to back away.
How many runes? Is that all? Okay, they got 3 of the bounties on the side of Liquid. Yapzor was able to take one of them. But yeah, GH having this, I mean, it's Yapzor actually stacked that camp too a couple times. But I was like, oh, he was trying to pull and deny the wave.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, now GH being there, he's going to be pretty happy with this. When the Spirit comes back in, we're going to see this damage. He's going to have like plus 130 or so.
Shackles.
As long as he hits the creep wave. Yeah, 153.
Jeez, Nisha, be careful, buddy. The Stapler Man hits really hard.
If he hits even like 1 or 2 more, like if he hits a hero there, then he's got plus 180.
Right.
If he hits 2 heroes, plus 210. Because he's got the triple stack plus the small camp that he's been working with. You see, he always sends the Spirit to go grab both of them. I play a lot of ET.
You're like narrating every amount of damage that's going to come out. You know it all.
I mean, that's literally the only hero I play right now.
It's a pretty good hero to play, man.
Yeah, and
oh.
They try to go for the chase here. Yapzor gonna take a beating.
Dude, GH, he's got so much armor from it as well. He's just going to pummel this guy. Get over here, Yapzor.
Not able to get the kill, though. The other little thing that you can do with ET, which you actually did do there, is you refresh your Spirit immediately when it's about to die, when it's about to disappear, from the initial one, and you keep the damage. As a haste rune rotation comes out.
Oh, and Kuro.
Easy kill.
Gonna go down there. Meanwhile, Shadow gonna have that Healing Ward pop again as he backs away. And it looks like so far, still very even in the early goings of this. Much more active than we saw in the last game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is when you've got much more solid lanes, right? Last time Liquid, they didn't really have the greatest lanes at all in the game. It was, yeah, a lot of pressure on a Pugna, and they kind of got...
They got owned.
Kind of got grown, yeah. Kind of got owned. Kind of got crushed in the lanes, and then it became full catch-up game forever. Not this time, though.
Matumba Man made his way down here bottom. Was just sort of farming away in the jungle, and OD hasn't been able to push it too hard yet, as we do see the shackles now onto GH. Needs to walk away. Nisha looking for a bash yet again. He will find it. He gets the double bash.
Oh my god.
All right. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, Matu's doing the same thing as he did in the game yesterday when he was playing versus an OD. It's like OD gets level 5, 6, 7, and yeah, you have to make moves around. And yeah, like this move by mid one is great. He makes the way up top, not even just to set up for kill, but just get rid of that stack so that they don't have to worry about ET just pummeling and chasing their course. They throw a scan, now they're going to know. GH is going to scout and be kind of sad.
Oh,
as he sees there is no more stack there for himself.
Such a big change, OD giving that AoE damage to the Arcane Orbs.
Definitely. I mean, mid one's got a Midas. Oh, he's about to have a Midas finished up. It's 8 minutes in. That's very, very early. And you know that, I mean, Secret, with them picking a Void last pick, they're like, all right, we're okay going late. I mean, Liquid still, they have a very threatening late game too, but both teams are prepared for if it gets to that point.
And granted, Liquid do have a lot of heroes that can get stuff done earlier. You've got the Beastmaster, he can make rotations. Obviously, ET, amazing at team fighting early. Once you get that level 6 as well, even just, you know, throwing out the big Echo Stomps.
Yeah.
So it looks like Liquid just going to sit comfortably down their bottom.
4 minutes faster than average. Damn. That is early.
He did it with the Arcane Rune first, too.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he got it before he ended up popping
very
the
nice.
first time.
Wow, I actually didn't see that he had the Arcane.
Gush, Kuro, chased. Healing Ward wants to make sure that he won't get punched, but he's going to be able to back out. And something else to watch for as this game goes later, possibly, is going to be the Fate's Edict on the OD.
Yes. Fate's Edict on OD and even Fate's Edict, if you're in a good position on the Void and the Chrono, it's a little bit harder because it doesn't have the greatest cast range on that ability.
Right.
As you see, it's one of it's actually his smallest cast range out of all of his by quite a good margin.
I'd love to be able to pick up an Aether Lens later for Kuro.
And again, we see Secret there. They sent the OD to the jungle now. Since I mean, mid one's got a Midas and stuff, and they're giving Yapso the lane. We see this very common from a lot of teams. Just try to get your resources up high like that.
Jump forward, Chrono! He's able to barely get him right on the edge there. Now Yapsar's going to be able to find the shackles afterwards, trying to kill off Matumbaman. He will get that kill. Mid one chasing forward here. The Astral Imprisonment, an eventual death. Disaster again for Liquid.
That's the move you want to do, though, right? You see the support farm, and you're like, I know what's going on here. I know the core is jungling. I know they're giving Yapso the lane, but Shadow Shaman's kind of beefy. And yeah, Nisha with a very, very quick TP and catching a very ideal Chrono. I believe Matu actually like kind of walked back into it, but it's not like he had a different avenue that he could really go.
And you look at this situation now, it's still the Shadow Shaman who's almost caught up to the Monkey King.
Dude, he almost has Aether Lens.
It's insane.
It's just Yapso, right?
And certainly getting that kill helps. Does have the wards as in the top lane. They're going to use the roar here, try and take down Nisha. Is it going to be enough? They find that kill just barely.
Full control. They had a stomp follow-up as well coming in, too.
Yeah. See if you can get this jump away. Things get a lot better. Good use of Glyph there so that he couldn't use the Omni Slash afterwards. Also, of course, here in the mid lane, they're going to try and clean up these wards. As mid one chasing forward.
Yeah, they've got this catapult 10-minute wave, so they're really trying to force it forward. Echo Stomp will not connect on anybody. They really want to try to keep this tower alive as long as possible, but it's pretty damn tough versus this. Mid one has his Midas up, but nothing to get it on him.
Chase, Wukong's command, root a little bit late to the party.
Yeah.
And they won't even be able to save the tower.
Oh,
you got the deny.
Yeah,
okay.
they at least got a deny. That's great.
Big stuff.
That tower, though, is, as we always say, it's like the most important tower in the game. You lose a lot of map control when you lose that one. You give the enemy team a lot of ways to enter into your jungle.
Mid one.
Have the chase. Not on the mark.
Heads up play there to get away. So able to escape from there. Puppey setting up here on a Shadow possibly. It's not an easy kill by any stretch of the imagination for either of these heroes.
This is just going to be an SNY build on Shadow. So he's just trying to get online early rather than going for like a greedy Battle Fury build. He's got ways of like enabling his damage already in this game too, right? They've got Beastmaster with the Aura. They've got the Elder Titan if he's ever to stand on top of people, which is going to be a bit hard with his natural order as well. So he will get amplified with that one. But his farm pace will definitely be slowed down because of that. He's going to have to be playing very active with this type of build. As Kuro.
Gonna move in. We'll eventually get Astral there. Matumbaman's in the area. Kind of hard to jump into this one as the Stomp gonna follow it up. See if they can get Yapsor. The Stomp doesn't connect onto anybody, and now mid one moves into position. Matumbaman need to run. They have the Astral Imprisonment chasing from GH. We'll have another chase there with the Boundless Strike. The jump forward. Here. They want to find it. Do they have the Chronosphere? They do. Waiting for the moment to go for it. They're actually saving the Chrono for now. Does still have Omni Slash, and they don't even need it. Just punch him down, dead.
Still have Chrono. Nisha still hunting.
Oh, I gotta be careful here. God, that's such good composure there from Nisha to hold off on that.
And he is going to be going for the Battle Fury build this game. So they've got the Midas. They're going for the Battle Fury. Mid one. Staying a bit far up here. He's looking pretty dead.
It's not anticipating Matumba Man sticking around, and that was much needed.
Yeah.
Shadow likes it.
Over-aggression being punished. Just really wanted that creep wave. Those like a couple creeps. In a pretty risky position, too, as all of his teammates had already like, backed off.
And I will say it's a little bit scary seeing both the Midas and the Battle Fury. Granted, it's going to ensure their late game is amazing, but you have a lot of heroes that can get stuff done on Liquid. Haven't seen Aurora yet. Could be another big opening for them to try and punish this secret greed. And looks like they're going to go for the opening with the Boundless Strike here, possibly immediately on to Nisha the chase forward. Can they kill him off in time? Yeah, no!
Oh, he got it off! Kuro, did Kuro not have a nuke?
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
painful.
I wasn't clicked on him. Damn it. I didn't see if I think he may have had like maybe a quarter of a second till the nuke or so. Anisha just surviving. And now, I mean, they've got their ultis ready. So yeah, we were talking about Secret. They have long cooldown ultis. They've used the OD ulti, but they've got Chrono and Ravage. So they're just throwing it onto poor Oracle, poor Kuro, but he survives.
Is he going to really walk away from this? Mind Control could roar him here if he wants to, or they're just going to use the Stomp.
There's all of Secret's members in the area pretty much, except for the Sven.
All right, the wards are down. They still have Ravage if they want to use it as the Shackles and the wards connect onto GH. The heal, the False Promise. Save in private GH.
He's safe. Yeah, he's fine. He's going to heal up. They'll
I
be
mean,
able to get the tower.
That's a lot used.
Yeah.
Can you take advantage of this? Is there any way to try and go in and again? I guess Matumba Man TP'd to the top lane, so
Yeah.
probably
They,
not.
they still have Ravage, too. So
Yeah.
it's still a bit scary. In one. Oh, he's Matu.
Oh!
Wait, as he jumps in the tree.
He's on the tree!
Vanished.
They know he's on the
He's
tree!
on the tree.
Get out of there,
And he
buddy!
jump away. Oh,
That was sick.
that was funny. I actually haven't seen that one happen. With the, as you're jumping, you get astraled.
I appreciate that they have the little like status bar that keeps moving through the air.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. So it looks like Matu's going to be the one that goes for the greedy build on his team. I saw him queued up the Battle Fury on the Monkey King.
Okay.
He had Diffusal, but I guess since he saw Shadows going for the SNY and they're seeing this Midas build on the OD, they're like, all right, we have to be able to match some kind of greed here. Otherwise, we could be in problems if it gets to the later stages.
Oh, Mind Control is deep behind enemy territory there. And Nisha still not quite at the Battle Fury himself. He's been moving around, I think probably
Damn.
more than most would think.
Look at mid ones. Look what he just straight up bought. He just buys the Mystic Staff. As much intelligence as possible.
Yeah, that's scary. Because a lot of these heroes don't have the highest int in the world at all.
They have 0 int heroes on the side of Liquid. Well, I mean Oracle, but yeah.
I mean, he's going to die to
Yeah, that's not
one
yeah,
right
it's
click
support.
anyways.
You know, no core int hero or anything
Yeah.
like that. They can really deal with it too well.
And I mean, you do have things like Fate's Edict to try and like stop that, but Sandy's Eclipse comes out so quickly.
It does. It's like it's just super instant. So yeah, that's a lot of damage if he's able to get it on a couple heroes, and they've got Chronosphere up in 10, and they still have Ravage. And with this Vlad's, they're looking to set up for a Roche. Everybody in the area. They've even got Serpent Wards too, and they will commit them.
This is pretty impossible to try and come and contest here.
Yeah, ET is one of the best heroes in the game at dealing versus Roshan, because you just throw your Spirit, you get vision, you can constantly annoy them with stomps and slow them down. But as for committing and try to contest versus this triple ultimate that Secret has, it's a lot harder. And they would like to choose.
They're getting ready to get set up on Mind Control bottom afterwards if they need to. Or Puppy can obviously break any TPs that Mind Control has at the same time. Sticking around. He sees that the OD is there. Now going to get stunned.
They got Yapstar up on the Shrine, though. They had a trap. They're prepared for them. They keep you on the Shrine. Now the Roar.
Trying to turn. Mid one in trouble. He's going to go for the banishment, but Puppy at the very least should be able to walk away. Shadow also here.
Mid one went for the deny, but the Boar actually got the last hit on the tower there from MC.
Really nice play there by Liquid to stick one hero on the Shrine.
Yeah.
Oh, and Zai just walks up onto the high ground.
Takes out the D-Ward.
Omni Slash immediately lays out there onto Nisha. Is going to be able to walk away, though. The stun dodged by the Blade Fury and the TP away. Tells him, get back. Don't be here anymore.
It's quite a tanky Tidehunter. Vlad's plus Buckler build going for that mech. So the Omni Slash does not do as much as they would like.
This feels like it's very close, though, still.
It does. Definitely does.
As the game becomes later and later, you know, OD, Faceless Void becomes an issue, but it does feel like there's a timing here for Liquid.
Yeah, it still is too. They've got this amplification. It's like you can never really rule out a team when they've got this this ET. The aura really makes everybody do so much damage.
Oh. Well, Oracle.
He'll make them work for it a little bit here, but he will be extremely dead.
Yeah. That's a long cooldown on the False Promise also.
Yeah, the first level of it is actually, it is pretty high. It used to be quite a bit lower. It's been added a little bit on.
Shadow doesn't have a TP. Needs to be careful there. Yeah, mid-1 can't quite catch up. So 18 minutes, 2,000 gold lead, and Secret looking to try and keep the pressure on here as they're going towards the tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Bottom lane's pressured out pretty heavily, though.
Yeah, these boars and books keep pushing it in constantly, and now Secret, they are going to have to respond. They've got the blink, as we saw revealed on Yapso earlier, so they've got really good ways of catching now for Secret if there are those split pushes. So we might see a ward, we might see a defensive ward come out from Secret in the bottom side of the map soon, because my control's being a bit pesky, just staying down there, sending the boars and books. So is that a BKB queued up for GH? So he wants to be able to stand next to people. That's what he wants. He wants to be able to get on top of the Void, get on top of the OD for that reduction.
Oh, put to sleep. This could be a combo here if they're able to get the Purifying Flames perfectly together. Almost enough. Can they kill him off? No! Nisha gets away. That was close. The Spirit was on him at that point, right?
Yeah, but it's, just not quite enough damage. It's only level 1 natural order. 2 supports, and now that's quite a bit committed there, and now GH will be punished. Oh man!
Oh my God!
Midorn actually throws the ulti out there. Okay. I didn't think he needed his energies there, but I guess he really wants to last it, and getting that last hit will secure himself a full hex at the 20-minute mark, which is pretty crazy on an OD.
And I mean, to be fair, like, if you don't have the ET, your team fight is completely done for Liquid, pretty much, it feels like.
Yeah. Shadow.
Well, he didn't really have that many places left to go, and now they're going to find that Hex reveal onto Kuro, trying to stun, trying to kill. There's the Fate's Edict as well, the Astral Imprisonment, able to get off the Omni Slash now onto mid-1. He used the Astral before. Gone and in trouble. The chase forward for Nisha. Matumba Man wants to slow him down. Good use there of time dilation, and GH moving into position, but can't quite get there. The Spirit Stomp. Big plays.
And he dies with the Might. The Midas was up for a while even before he died too. Oh, Might is still on cooldown, or still up.
16 minutes faster than average. But doesn't matter if you're dead, I guess.
Yeah, and him not having, honestly, him not having sanities there was actually quite big. Like, he hexed Kuro and was trying to go for this kill, and then the Monkey King comes in, and he's not able to finish off even the Oracle.
Yeah. That Fate's Edict is so valuable against the OD also.
Yeah.
I feel like that's, yeah, he's leveling that one up second. It gets down to 7-second cooldown and a 4.5-second duration.
Yeah, you always want to, especially you always want to have the 2 points in it because it allows you to do your double heal with your Fate's Edict, with your, with your Purifying Flames during your ulti.
Another Hex used here, GH trying to interrupt. Want to get the max value out of this Hex that you can, but now you're in a little bit of a position where you're going to get caught by the Earth Splitter. Matumba Man tries to jump through the trees.
He will be able to make it away.
Just Monkey King things.
Yeah, that's not like a, they're not trying to set up for a kill or anything. That's an Earth Splitter to just slow him.
Yeah.
Just that movement speed slow as Nisha.
Well, they thought that Matumba Man was going to be there. Kuro
catches Kuro right on the edge.
Sick play. And now Kuro going to get pummeled as well here. On a really good Chronosphere from Nisha.
This guy's pretty good. Very ideal Chrono.
And now another one
GH.
caught. They're just falling apart here. The last couple of minutes have been really painful for Liquid.
Yeah, they're just playing. I mean, it's mostly them just doing this like split push kind of thing. Like, look, Mind Control has not really been showing up to anything. He's just using his book and constantly forcing waves out. Now maybe he's going to try to set up here for Puppey. He's got the roar. Puppey gets the stun
Nice. Good play there from the Sven.
and Secret's able to get themselves that tier 2. And Yapstar has Serpent Wards. There's still some heroes dead on Liquid. Yeah, they're threatening high ground here for a bit.
And you look at this lineup from Liquid, who really hits these wards? It's pretty much exclusively the
got
Jump and
Sanities too.
Ravage able to catch up. The follow-up is going to be there maybe. No, Shadow able to back away. They do have the Stomp that's going to connect only onto one, so put the Tidehunter to sleep. They have any follow-up afterwards. A good Boundless Stripes trying to interrupt. Shadow looking for the Omni Slash. The combination comes out before the Sanities, but it hits onto the creep. He switches over Bat RNG, and now the jump forward. Matumba, man, are you going to be able to survive through this? The BKB is pretty good, and now with the lifesteal trying to chase that mid one, but he's going to Astral himself, just trying to stay alive against Nisha, but the bash finishes him off, and now the barracks to fall.
Mind Control's trying to do his own kind of split push here. Puppey does buyback after dying, though, and now Mind Control will get hexed up.
God, this Hex
will have the chase.
It's been so valuable, and they will eventually be able to find the kill onto GH also.
And in mid-2, Kuro as well shows up.
Oh my god! Secret are killing them all over the freaking map. As mid one might end up dying to the boar, actually. The boar! Puppey, go hit the boar! He's trying to kill it off. Can he do it in time? It looks like mid one. Is he going to die to it? They find the Hex on the boar.
All 5 of Liquid, even more of all 5 of Liquid died, right? How many buybacks did they use? Did they even use one there? I don't think they actually had it.
Respawns are short enough.
It was
that
just
I
short
think
respawns.
That GH
Yeah,
died twice.
I think so. You're right.
Oh god.
I mean, the series of events. I just pull up the gold graph, not to look at the gold increase, but to look at the green dots that just pop up on the bottom there. The momentum that Secret just got was absolutely insane. They had both of the ultis up as they're going up onto that high ground with the Ravage as well as that Sanities, and they executed perfectly. And now they have Void Chrono again ready to continue this aggression as Shadow will walk directly into them.
And looking for that Chronosphere, again catching the Oracle simultaneously with that Juggernaut. Having deja vu here as Secret dismantling Liquid. And, you know, some of it's the Chrono, but also that Hex pickup. It's impossible to deal with at this point in the game.
Yeah, and even, I mean, Yapsor too, having like Aether Lens and the cast range talent too. He's got such ridiculous cast range to get his hexes off too in the fights. It's, yeah, Secret just making phenomenal moves in the last like 5 minutes. Nisha seeming to always be there when he's needed to set up for his chronos or just some bashes and right clicks. As now they have a firm control on this game.
And, you know, not messing around at all. They dropped the wards down. Shadow Shaman bought Boot to travel to make sure that he was here for the fight instead of going for the Aghanims.
Well, he can come back too. The thing is, he uses TP scroll to go to base. He just bots right back in.
Why
wanted
not?
to deal with that mind control split.
Well, did have another stomp there that landed onto several. It's doing what you can in that top lane. Matumba Man trying to keep them back as Mind Control continues to tank tower, but it's one TP here. Try and retreat as they have the shackles onto that Beastmaster, and well, it's not a very farm Sven, but he still hits pretty hard. So does Yapsor.
The 2 supports will take out that Beastmaster. And Matu
trying to chase for Nisha. And immediately jumps away.
Yeah. Back up, recollect those bounties, and I mean, damage was done again. 2 sets of racks already this early on. Secret with a 14k gold lead, and they prepared themselves to even be able to fight later. Like we mentioned, they went Midas, they went Battle Fury, and they're making the aggressive plays. A very good showing by Secret in this early morning.
Early morning Dota, you love to see it. It's a little bit rough for Team Liquid for sure at this point in the game. 15,000 net worth lead, and you know, it just feels like there's that switch flicked. And
I mean, look at that
insane.
climb. It's like it's crazy. It's like it was like those last, like we said, like those 5 minutes just absolutely snowballed out of control. It's like they had that one little mistake in the river where they lost 3 heroes, and then a commanding control.
Well, and I think that it speaks again to, like, you know, maybe some of the coordination that you have in the team as well. Just gain everybody on the same page. It felt like it was single-mindedness coming from Secret, where they were all on the exact same page of what they need to do. And not necessarily that wasn't happening with Liquid, but you know, the results speak for themselves a little bit here. As
Well, Liquid's been playing more of like a splitty game because they look and they're like, oh my god, Secret has Chrono, Ravage, OD, ulti, right? So Beastmaster and Mind Control's been playing the split push game for the most part, trying to catch when people go back, but I mean, Secret just found perfect opportunities.
on the high ground here.
They're ready. They're smoked. Secret wants to fight.
The rest of his team is really far away. Zai is going to get astraled there. Now the mid one chase forward. Can they find this kill? Have they gone too far? A big Chronosphere, but where's the damage to follow this one up? They have the sheep there with the wards dropped down. Liquid looking kind of okay in this fight. They buy back from the OD though. He's going to try and jump back in here if they can. The Ravage finally comes out, but they've already taken down that Faceless Void. They will lose the Jug, and now the chase forward, Matumba Man wanting to kill off Zai. They could find him before the OD gets into this fight. It could be good, but now that mid-1 has showed up, they need to run away. The long-range Shackles onto that Oracle, able to get him. The Sanity's Eclipse kills off Mind Control. The Sleep to try and run. Somehow Oracle's still alive here, but only for a moment. And it looks like the chase, it's not quite going to be there, but still the damage is done.
That was probably like the dream scenario for Liquid, right? They're up on the high ground. The Chronosphere catches. I think someone gets Fate Edict at the same time. Zai only clips like one hero with the Ravage on the side of it, but Shadow gets isolated in the river from the buyback from mid-1. And then the net worth advantage really speaks for itself in this one.
Oh, yeah.
How they're able to take that fight, even though it's not looking the greatest. Team Secret at the start of it.
They do have buyback on the Juggernaut and the ET if they want to just throw bodies at him here in the next couple of minutes, but looks like Roche is going to maybe be the call for Secret as they're gathering around that area.
Yeah, they've also got an Aghanims now on Yapsor, and he's level 20. So Aghanim Serpent Wards +1 Serpent Ward max HP as well. So yeah, those will be hurting quite a lot. A couple level 20s coming out on Secret, that is too, as we see the OD. We used to see people taking the 20 strength, but now it's been like the Sanity's Eclipse multiplier pretty much exclusively.
149 in on this OD right now.
Yeah.
Liquid, they have Matumba Man.
They've got good vision around the Roche. They've got a Hawk and they've got Matsu in the tree.
And Secret, they're still respecting the team fight that could come from Liquid. I keep on wanting to say Wings because Shadow shows up there.
I know. I've almost done that like 4 times. I see Wing Shadow, I'm like, oh!
Rip.
Sai runs in.
Omni Slash yet again. We've seen this story before, but this
did.
time it works out a little bit better. Buyback from Tidehunter. Got to get it before that Tidehunter gets back into the base, but the jump in, the Chronosphere, it's onto all of them. But look at the Wukong's command. It's still working. He's just caught for the moment, but he was able to get that Aegis, so it might not matter in the end as Shadow trying to run down Puppey. They're seeing if they can control Yapsor as the chase comes and they kill off Mind Control. There's going to be the Hex, the follow-up Shackles, and the Stomp
connects.
All right, a turnaround, but mid-1's there.
Yeah.
And that's going to be about all she wrote as they lose yet another hero. Mid-1 chasing, seeing if they can find GH and Yapsor. He's got him in his sights. The Shackles are there. And mid-1 is going to slowly dismantle. Triple kill for the OD.
Yeah, they just throw everything into the Roche, but they're like, doesn't matter if it's low, doesn't matter anything like that. Just Chronosphere, throw out your Serpent Wards too, and we see Zai and mid-1 throwing snowballs at each other. They're having a good time.
You can tell that they're having fun while playing Dota, for sure, as they move in and they're just going to go for the throne. No fuss, no muss. There's a butterfly on the Faceless Void, and looks like the Tier 4 towers are going to fall, as very shortly we're going to be seeing those 2 letters come out from Team Liquid. GG.
Very solid showing from Secret in both games. This one looking a little bit closer, but I mean it ramped up at an incredible pace. After like one little mistake, Secret's just like, all right guys, no more mistakes. Let's smash it. And that seems like what had happened right after that like 22-minute mark.
You know what it is? It's the facial hair.
It's the puppy facial hair.
It's happening.
As soon as I saw him, I kind of just like poked and prodded him a little about it. He's like, I'm trying something new. Come on. But yeah,
it does look good. Yeah, really pressing showing there from Team Secret. I think that it still works though. That combination of having like Yapsor play the greedy 3/4, and Zai in there as well in sort of a similar role. Do you think that they can go far in this tournament? How far can they go?
I definitely think that they can. They've looked fantastic since they got Nisha. I think they've been looking amazing. Like at Hamburg, they were crushing it. KL, they were doing really well too. So I definitely do think that they've got a really good shot at this tournament. I do think they could definitely place. Could be in the finals, for sure.
A lot of love there shared between the 2 squads. Obviously, a tremendous amount of respect for each other, and maybe sort of give them a little nudge in the side. Like, remember when I killed you, dude? Remember?
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, but we're going to be back in just a little bit. Let's head back to the panel, see what they thought about that series as we finish off game number 2.